Chapter 16 is about managing information and technology. Bill Gates once said information technology and business are becoming inextricably interwoven. I don't think anybody can talk meaningfully about one without talking about the other. Here are the learning outcomes for Chapter 16. There has been a drastic change in communications, computer hardware, and software over the last few decades. Hardware refers to the physical components used to collect, input, store, and process data, and to display and distribute information. Hardware consists of components such as printers, barcodes, routers, and scanners. Software refers to the programs that provide instructions to the computer so that it can perform a desired task. System software and application software have used the tremendous increase in hardware capabilities to become more powerful and easier to use. These days, most firms and homes have networks that allow users to communicate with one another and share hardware resources and files. Computer resources are linked by networks using either wired or wireless networks. The development and growth of the internet is one of the greatest networking stories of the past 2 decades. A broadband internet connection has a capacity to transmit large amounts of data very quickly, allowing users to quickly download large files such as music, games, and movies. An intranet is a private network that allows a company to connect internally, so employees can talk to each other without external sources being able to use that information. It's a way for employees to communicate and collaborate and distribute information throughout the organization. Firms sometimes also create extranets by giving key stockholders, such as suppliers or customers, limited access to certain areas of their intranet. Many businesses have an IT department to manage their technology resources, but the role of IT departments can vary from one company to another. Some companies have an IT department to simply provide technical assistance to employees. In other companies, the IT department plays a strategic role, making and implementing key decisions about the technologies the firm will use. Employees in most companies access data and use applications that are stored on the company's servers or on their own computers. However, many companies are taking up cloud computing as it has a number of benefits. Users can access a vast array of computing resources without the need to invest in expensive new hardware, software, or IT personnel. It allows lower costs and excess capacity by only paying for the computer resources they need or use. They encourage collaboration among employees and business partners. Cloud resources aren't confined to a specific platform or operating system. It takes advantage of incredible gains in processing speed via massively parallel computing that simultaneously combines the processing power of hundreds or thousands of computers. IT helps transform data into information that can be used by decision makers. Data are a collection of facts and figures. Data in their raw form have limited usefulness because they lack the content needed to give them meaning. Files are organized in a systematic order in the database. A company might have different databases to meet their specific needs. IT departments work closely with managers to support their decision-making processes. In fact, many companies develop decision support systems that give managers access to large amounts of data and the processing power to convert the data into high-quality information quickly and efficiently. Business intelligence systems help businesses find complex and subtle relationships hidden in the data. One of the most common approaches to implement a business intelligence system is to create a data warehouse and use data mining to discover unknown relationships. Over the last few years, data mining has been successfully implemented in a number of areas, including quality control, crime detection, and scientific research. Managers use expert systems to receive guidance during the decision-making process. There have been several advancements in the field of IT over the past 20 years. In this chapter, we're going to focus on one area, the growth and development of e-commerce. E-commerce is marketing, buying, selling, and servicing products over a network. The two major types of e-commerce include business to consumer, or B2C e-commerce, and business to business, or B2B e-commerce. Firms in the B2C market use IT in a variety of ways. Firms have been able to develop stronger relationships with customers by using Web 2.0, as it helps create a richer, more interesting, and more useful experience. Web 2.0 techniques are used to encourage collaboration among customers and help employees work together more efficiently. Usually, B2C commerce requires a customer to make a payment online, for instance, by using a credit card. To ensure secure transactions, sites usually use secure socket layer protocol. Cybermediary is another mode of secure electronic transfer of funds over the internet. Electronic bill presentment and payment can be used to send bills to the customers via email. B2B e-commerce generally requires a very different approach than B2C e-commerce. B2B e-commerce requires a large sum of money and negotiation, as it often results in long-term supply chain relationships. For this reason, forging tight and efficient relationships is important to receive a competitive edge. E-marketplaces are specialized internet sites that are used by several firms involved in the B2B businesses. Buyers and suppliers can use this as a platform for interaction. Radio frequency identification, or RFID, reduces the likelihood of theft, lowers costs, and improves the efficiency of the supply chain. There are a number of security concerns, annoyances, and legal and ethical issues resulting from rapid technology developments. Some of the threats of the internet and IT are malware, spyware, computer viruses, and worms. Spam clogs email boxes, making it a tough task for people to find legitimate messages. Phishing is another way in which spam is used. Farming uses fake websites to trick people to divulge personal and financial information. Hackers that intend to cause harm are referred to as black hat hackers. These hackers attempt to disrupt businesses or break into computer systems to steal identities. A firewall is an important tool as it helps guard against hackers and other threats. Firewalls have become commonplace as there is an increasing number of threats on the internet. There are a number of complicated and controversial ethical and legal issues that have arisen due to IT. Personal privacy has decreased as the tracking and analysis of customer behavior has increased. On the plus side, this has helped firms offer more personalized services. Intellectual property refers to products that result from creative and intellectual effort. It can be protected by copyrights. If copyrights are violated and if the content is widely distributed, then it's referred to as piracy. And if you think about piracy, it's been something that was in the news many years ago when people were downloading music illegally. So that was it for chapter 16 and information technology. So finally we move on to chapter 17, which is all about operation management and putting it all together. Here are the learning outcomes for chapter 17. Operations management is concerned with converting inputs into outputs to maximize profits of an organization. However, business experts say that operations are managed depending on the nature of the products or services that an organization provides. The decisions taken by operations managers have the direct impact on the firm's overall profitability. In addition to that, A good operations manager is able to get the right goods and services to the right customers at the right time. In this way, costs can be lowered and a high quality of goods and services can be maintained. Tangible products that individuals can see and touch are termed goods. Durable products are expected to last 3 years or longer, like furniture, cars, and appliances. Services are activities that yield benefits but don't directly result in physical products. In a changing environment, managers may extend their views from traditional to complex supply chains because of a shift from a cost perspective to a value perspective. So this slide shows the changes to operations management over the last 50 years and the factors that promoted the change. So let's look at some of the functions that operations managements perform to move goods and services from start to finish. After a product is designed, operations managers need to determine the best possible way to produce it. The process involves the design of the product layout, process layout, cellular layout, and fixed position. These layouts are determined by what type of goods are processing. Real estate agents are always concerned with location, location, location. It's important to the value of the property. Location is important to property managers because the location of the facility greatly affects the efficiency and effectiveness of the organization's processes. Inventories are stocks of goods and other items held by organizations. Deciding how much inventory to have on hand is challenging for operations managers because having too much can tie up funds because you don't earn money until the items are sold. It costs overhead to hold on to inventory because you need to store it somewhere, and there is an increased risk of loss because the inventory can spoil depending on the type of item, or it can factor into depreciation, or it can become obsolete because it's out of date or it's replaced by a newer item. But keeping inventory is important because it can help you ensure that you're meeting customers' needs by having the items when they want it and when they need it. Usually, manufacturing firms use inventories to keep track of their work in progress, raw material, and finished goods. However, retail firms use inventories of their finished goods and basic supplies. Project scheduling is vital as it helps avert cost overruns and any major delays. An important tool that helps operation managers handle projects is the critical path method. The longest path taken to complete a sequence of activities is referred to as the critical path. Activities that have to be completed before the commencement of a new activity is referred to as the immediate predecessor. A delay in any activity on the critical path is likely to delay the completion of the entire project. The design and management of value chains is one of the important functions of the operations management. This is because it includes all of the activities ranging from the procurement of required raw materials for production to when the final product reaches the customer. Operations managers need to examine the trade-off between outsourcing and vertical integration when value chains are designed. Vertical integration occurs when a firm attempts to gain more control over its value chain by either developing the ability to perform processes previously performed by other organizations in the chain or by acquiring those operations. The opposite function of vertical integration is referred to as outsourcing, where firm's value chain functions are performed by another organization. Offshoring is moving the process previously performed domestically to a foreign location. Enterprise resource planning focuses on integrating information from all aspects of an organization's operation, thus helping the entire value of the supply chain. Because of the interaction between customers and service providers, the design of service facility must often take the experiences of the participants into account. A servicescape is the environment in which the customer and service provider interact. A well-designed servicescape can have a positive influence on the attitudes and perceptions of both the customers and those who provide the service. Ambiance refers to the factors such as decor, background music, lighting, noise level, and even scents. Functionality involves how easy it is for customers to move through the facility and find what they're looking for. Signs, symbols, and artifacts convey information to the customer and create impressions. Because services are intangible and often must be experienced at the time they are created, service providers can't produce the service in advance or store it to meet temporary surges in demand. This can create challenges for operations managers because the demand for many types of services varies significantly depending on the season or the day of the week or the time of the year. Now let's talk about how technology has revolutionized operations management. Automation is one of the major developments in operations management. These days, most firms are using sophisticated automated systems. Robots have taken automation to an entirely new level. Some of the robots have special sensors that allow them to see, hear, or feel their environment. Additionally, many of the robots are mobile and can be guided over rugged terrain. Different software technologies are used in operations management. Users can create 3D drawings using computer-aided design programs. In addition, computer-aided engineering helps engineers identify and rectify flaws in product design before the production stage. Computer-aided manufacturing allows the electronic design of the product and helps create programmed instructions for robots and other automated equipment. CAD and CAM enables the CAD design to directly flow to the CAM programs. It sends direct instructions to the automated equipment from the factory floor to guide this production process. When high-tech equipment and robots are integrated with a CAD or CAM software system, the result is a computer-integrated manufacturing. Almost everyone agrees that quality is important. This slide summarizes the Denning chain reaction. It is based on the relationship between quality and business success as proposed by W. Edwards Deming. A newfound emphasis on quality has led to the development of an approach referred to as total quality management, or TQM. Characteristics of TQM are customer focus, emphasis on building quality throughout the organization, empowerment of employees, focus on prevention rather than on correction, and long-run commitment to continuous improvement. Six Sigma is a popular approach to quality improvement. The techniques used by this approach are quite advanced and they require high levels of expertise. Lean production can be defined as an activity or a function that uses resources but not create value. Its main objective is to eliminate waste, which can help improve efficiency. Just-in-time production is used to avoid excessive storage of raw materials, work-in-progress goods, and finished goods. This process is also known as pull system, which actually pulls through orders in the production process. Many of today's leading firms have also tried to become greener by finding environmentally friendly ways to carry out the processes needed to produce and distribute their goods and services. The long-term goal of many green practices is to achieve sustainability, which means finding ways to meet the organization's current objectives while protecting and preserving the environment for future generations. ISO 14,000 is a family of standards established for environmental management. So this concludes chapters 16 and 17 and the information for the entire course. If you have any questions on chapters 16 and 17, please let me know. If you have any questions on the final project, please let me know. As always, I'm here to help, so please just reach out to me, and have a great week.